Welcome to the Real Film Nerds Podcast.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to the Real Film Nerds Podcast, episode number 430. Ma Hinshaw, you want to go fast?
Oh, yes, I want to go fast.
Mike, what about you?
Yeah, I want to go fast.
Now, what movie was that line from?
Ricky Bobby, but hold on. It's it has a really long name.
Talladega Nights, The Ballad of Ricky Bobby.
Yeah, the Ballad of Ricky Bobby.
Right.
Yeah.
There you go. I got you, dog. I got you. Anyways, this week we are not talking about Ricky Booby and Talladega Nights. I don't know if we reviewed that. We probably will eventually if we haven't. But this week we're talking about a movie that is fast. It is one of the biggest blockbusters of the summer. Just came out last week, just in time for the July 4th holiday weekend. We're talking about F1 : the movie, or the rest of us just call it F1, but they had to put the movie on there because, you know, it's based off of Formula One. So I'll just go right to Mr. Talent. Break it down, sir.
All right. So this movie was directed by Joseph Kosinski, written by Ethron Kroger and Joseph Kosinski. And this movie is starring Brad Pitt, Damson Idris, Javier Bardem, Carrie Condon, Tobias Menzies, and Sarah Niles. And it's about a Formula One driver comes out of retirement to mentor and team up with a younger driver.
Ma Hinshaw,
Yes.
talk.
Oh, hey, guys, this was really awesome. I mean, I loved it. And I had to drive all the way down, ride all the way down to the middle of Phoenix to Arizona Mills Mall to an IMAX theater, which just opened with a huge screen, and it was worth it.
So, Ma, first we need to correct you. Tempe is not the middle of Phoenix. That is Tempe.
Well, it's close. I don't know.
No, it's not. It's on the east side. But yes,
Okay.
she went to the Arizona Mills Mall where they just opened up a brand new IMAX screen in addition to the other IMAX they have there, and watched this in IMAX. And how much were the tickets, Ma?
$20 a piece.
Was it worth the $20?
Oh, absolutely it was. It was, because this movie, it's so effective. I mean, you feel like you're sitting in their lap, which, no, I wasn't, but it was really awesome. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, of course you want to sit in Brad Pitt's lap.
Of course
Dirty
I
old
would.
biddy.
Yeah, he's pretty cool for a youngster of 61. Wow.
See,
Mhm.
that's not that old. You can.
No.
That's not that big of a gap, Ma. You could go and hook up with him.
I know, and he's not married to Angelina anymore, which made me sad, but oh well.
Mike,
You know.
did you get to see F1 the movie in IMAX?
No, I did not get to see it in IMAX. I just saw it in normal, like, I don't know, Joe Schmo screen.
Oh,
And it was fun to watch. It's I don't know a heck of a lot about F1, and it was neat to see a lot of the different, like, the crazy pit stops and the modularity of the car. Like, when they keep breaking stuff, it was just like, oh, it just snaps on. You're like, what is this, like Legos? Oh my gosh. Like, these cars go like 200 and something miles an hour and they can just pop on and off these things. That's amazing.
Well, I am a fan of Formula One, so luckily I'm here. I don't get to watch it as much as I would like because the races are 3 to 4 hours long. And if you watch all the practices and you watch all the warm-ups and all the qualifying, all that stuff, I mean, it's even more. but I'm lucky if I get to watch a race every now and then. But yeah, I've been not a huge fan like our friend Aaron, who absolutely loves Formula One, but I love Formula One quite a bit. I would love to go to a race in person, especially the Vegas race. Oh man. But I've been a fan of Formula One more actively, I guess you would state it. I mean, I've liked it growing up and stuff, but not the level I do now. Probably the past 10, 11, 12 years, I really started getting more and more into it just because I do like racing, and I grew up liking racing and NASCAR, but I got bored of it because of the around the track. And Formula One is not just about the driving, it's also about the technology, because these are $200 million plus cars. And they used a real Formula 2, not a Formula 1 car, to film this movie. And actually, they had 4 of them. But we can talk about all the behind-the-scenes stuff. I did a lot of looking into the behind-the-scenes stuff because I find it fascinating, especially how they shot this movie.
What's a Formula 2?
Yeah, well, the cars are from Formula 2, but the movie is Formula 1.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but what is Formula 2, Matt? Just a little bit slower racing, or like?
So just like in baseball, you have different divisions. So they have Formula 2, Formula 3, and they go even, I think, all the way down to Formula 5. I think. I'm not 100%. I could be wrong on that. But they're basically different skill levels. And Formula 2, the champion of Formula 2 usually gets picked up to be a backup driver or sometimes a second seat in Formula 1. Not all the time, but a lot of times. And so it's basically like minor league baseball. And they race at the same tracks and they race the same weekend, and all the big teams, all 20 teams, well, there's 20 drivers, but there's 10 teams. And all 10 teams typically have cars in each of the other divisions and sometimes different sponsors and things. But yeah, and they use it as like a minor league baseball, like grooming drivers to, come on. And they don't have a contract that they'll go into Formula One, which adds some real controversy, especially the past couple of years in Formula One. But typically they're grooming and putting money into those drivers so that they will go and drive for that team when they get to the level of Formula One. Make sense?
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah. All right.
There's similar looking cars. There's similar shaped cars. They run on the same tracks, but yeah, typically they're not quite as fast. They're a little more manageable. But the Formula 2 cars that they used in F1, Brad Pitt and Damson were maxing out 180 miles an hour, which is what a Formula 1 car averages. When they break 200 miles an hour, that's usually a really fast track like Las Vegas, where they have huge straightaways and stuff like that. Most of the time, the average speed for Formula 1 is between 150 and 190 is their average for the race.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I know that Brad Pitt, at least in his younger years, used to do some racing stuff. So I don't know if that helped him for this movie. I mean, I'm sure it didn't hurt.
He still does. He talked about a little bit in the behind the scenes that he still does a little bit of racing, but not like professionally. And he was talking about, of course, I'm drawing a blank on his name. Adam Carolla has a bunch of his cars. Famous actor, Mom, help me out here. Famous actor that got into car racing when he was 54 years old. Oh, I'm forgetting his name. Really, really big time actor. He started racing at 54, and he got to the point where he was acting to pay for his cars and to pay for his racing. And he raced in Le Mans and Formula One and
It wasn't Paul Newman, was it?
Yes, Paul Newman. Yes.
Oh, okay.
And Paul Newman basically got to the point where racing was his life and acting was what paid for his racing. And Brad Pitt was talking about Paul Newman. And he's like, well, Paul Newman didn't even start until he was in his 50s. And so Brad Pitt's thinking heavily about going back and doing it for real.
Wow.
Huh.
And then I don't know if you know Freddie Muniz.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he lives in Phoenix, Scottsdale specifically. But Freddie got accepted to the NASCAR Truck Series. So he's racing in the legit NASCAR Truck Series. Now, he's been in the lower brackets of NASCAR, but he's in in the show. Like and he's the same thing. Anytime he acts, he's just making money to go racing.
That's funny.
Yeah, it's pretty cool that some of these people are so talented they can start another career in another line of work, I guess you would say.
Yeah, for sure. Like I think Keanu Reeves could be like a prize-winning uh what is it like oh, what do they call it?
Competition shooter.
Competition shooter, yeah.
Yeah. Well, you
Mhm.
know the really big industry that Keanu Reeves is into, and he's really big into, but I don't think he races his motorcycles. He
Oh,
His
Really?
company builds some of the most sought after, expensive, cool, fast, crazy motorcycles in the world, and they do it out
Interesting.
of LA.
okay. All right, cool.
Wow.
I guess
didn't know that.
I guess when you have a lot of funds, you can throw some money towards your hobbies a little. Like Matt, imagine what kind of planes you would have and RC stuff.
Oh, dude, I can't imagine. We got a guy at the field that's very, very wealthy, built a local business. You know, he doesn't even bat an eye when he puts in a $3,000 or $4,000 airplane because he has 3 or 4 full scale airplanes that cost more in maintenance than one of those airplanes a month. So, yeah, I can imagine it because I see it.
Gotcha.
It'd be nice. Yeah, I wouldn't have to. I'd probably be a really good pilot because I wouldn't have to be nervous about crashing my airplanes.
Ah, okay. All right.
So, all right. So, Ma, did you like the movie? Mike, did you like the movie? I know we got super hardcore off track, but not really. I mean, we're talking about racing on the real thing. So,
We're talking about racing. I think that wasn't too bad. Yeah, I like the movie. It was a very simple storyline, but it was well executed. So it was fun to watch.
one thing that Lisa said, which I thought was interesting, she went and saw it. There was 6 or 7 of us that went and watched it here in Prescott together on Thursday night. And one thing that Lisa brought up, and I didn't even think about it because I don't have kids and I don't really care and it doesn't really cross my mind, but she was thanking it for only being PG-13 because you could take your kids to this movie and still really have a good time. There's very minimal swearing, very minimal sexuality. It was just a good old-fashioned fast summer blockbuster. And she really got a
And,
kick out of it.
and it had a romance sort of line in it. I won't give away stuff, but it was handled decently. So you could take your kids. And I noticed that too. I agree. Lisa was absolutely correct. Lots
Yeah,
of good racing, and fascinating to see all the different racetracks. Just amazing. I mean, well, how many we see? 4 or 5, something like that.
oh,
But
more than that. Because
did
think
we
we
see more than that?
I think we saw. Well, did we see all 6 of the what was left in the series?
I think all 6 and then some because I'd have to go back and watch. I might go watch it again just to try and,
Oh,
analyze a
I
little
love
bit
it.
more if I ever get time. But if it's on Apple TV, I'll probably watch it there. But just to try and analyze it because they filmed this. This again, I'm going to go back into Formula One. Just warning, they filmed this movie during the 2023 and 2024 season of Formula One, and they filmed it at the races. The FIA was real leery about it and the teams were real leery about it because these are the real teams. These are the real drivers that are in
Oh,
this movie.
boy.
These are the real team principals. This is legit at the racetracks. And they did it over the course of 9 different races and they would give them 20 minutes a day on the practice and pre-qualification days to shoot and that was it at 9 races over 2 years.
Yeah, I saw the Hamilton guy, and I was
Lewis
like, and
Hamilton,
he's
yeah.
yeah, he's one of the producers. So like,
Yes. They brought him in.
obviously.
Yeah, they brought him in big time. And one of the things, so there's a insane rivalry between back then Mercedes and Red Bull. And Lewis Hamilton was driving for Mercedes then. And Red Bull was like, we don't want to be in the movie because you're going to make us look like the villains because Lewis Hamilton is on as one of the producers and they're villains in real life. Like they're fine like people, but on the track, they're just smack talking and just, I mean, they are at each other's throats. And so that was one of the fears shooting at the actual the races and the storylines and all that the teams thought they were going to be shown in a bad light, and they didn't do that at all, which is great. That's why they signed off on it, and that's why the FIA signed off on it too.
Yeah, no, they didn't make it about that part of in I believe the team that they were racing for was fictional, right? Like
Yes. Yeah, APX is not a real team. No, and in the movie they even reference it in the movie. They call themselves the 21st team. There is no 21st team right now. There's rumors of well, not rumors. It's pretty much confirmed that America will have a second team, or an American sponsor. It'll be our official first, like, kind of real team. But Cadillac is getting involved, and they're going to be the 11th team. So, which would make it the 21st and 22nd car.
Okay, interesting. Okay,
And that's Michael Schumacher, I believe.
All right.
No, not Michael Schumacher. Sorry, Michael Schumacher is.
He was Ferrari.
Yeah, he was Ferrari in Germany. Sorry, I'm getting that mixed up. It's Andretti, Michael Andretti.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
One of the places they were looking at having their factory, is what it's known as, was Phoenix.
No.
But I don't think they did.
Oh, darn.
Yeah, that's what they call the compound where they have the cars and work on the cars, and because there's thousands and thousands of people that are on the team of these teams that design and build and do all this stuff all year.
Yeah,
that's the other cool thing. The McLaren's factory in England is the factory for Apex in the film. That's McLaren's actual office, and that's the McLaren in the background of Javier Bardem.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah,
that was cool. That place. So that was neat that they filmed it at a real place.
Yeah, that's their real business. Yeah, even though it said it was Apex, no, that's McLaren. Yeah, and if you're a Formula One fan, there's so many Easter eggs in here as nods to Formula One, including how the accidents happened and what they look like. I mean, this whole thing is just a love story or a love letter for F1.
Matt, this is totally random, but since you know a little bit about F1, what are the sparks that occasionally come out of the exhaust of the cars? What is that?
It's not coming out of the exhaust. The cars are so low to the ground for the aerodynamics that some of the, you can only do so much with the tracks. The sparks that are coming out is actually the chassis and the underbelly scraping across the ground as they're going through these different turns and stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not coming from the engine or anything like that. It's actually from the frame and stuff scraping and the plates underneath creating their more aerodynamics, because that's how low these cars are to the ground.
Yeah. Okay. All right. That makes sense.
What are those big tires? Are they really smooth, or do they have tread and they wear it smooth?
That depends. So where you're getting a little confused is the rain. So in Formula One, different from NASCAR and other American style racing, when it rains, typically they shut down the track, they shut down the race, everything. In Formula One, if it rains, too bad. You change your tires to rain tires. They do not stop. If it's raining all weekend, you're running on those tires. So when they're racing in the rain, they have two different kinds of sets of tires. They have what's known as intermediates, which are green. The intermediates are green, and they're kind of a combo of a slick and a treaded tire. And then they have what they call wets, which are all tread. And so it's a gamble. It's still strategy. So like they talked about it in the film, not to spoil the film, but they talked about in the film where a couple times they gambled, and that's where actually a wreck happened, not to spoil it. But he stayed on slicks, and he couldn't hold the corners well, and it was raining. And you want to talk about slick, because the tires cool down. They don't hold to the track anymore, because that's what slicks do. They get sticky, and they stick to the track. When it's hot, when it rains, it cools the track down, and the slicks don't stick anymore. And so that's why they have the treaded tires. And so they didn't pull him in, they didn't change him, and that's a strategy, because he gains points and places being out there, and it coincidentally ended in a wreck.
I was
So,
wondering about
no.
that. I didn't understand why there. Yeah. Okay.
So they're treaded, but only typically in the rain.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I know that was a long answer, but I like Formula
And
One.
they
It's
can
fun.
replace almost any parts. I mean, that
So
I
they're-
kind of would have liked to watch them, replace things maybe once so understood, but they can replace a whole lot of parts if you hit a wall or something, but you don't totally crash.
So that depends on the rules for the FIA and what it is and the rules of the sport. So say they clip the front end and they break a wing. The wing is not an integral part like the engine or whatever. It's just a wing that helps with downforce. And so they can come in, pull the wing off and put a new wing on. They can do that kind of stuff, but like they've actually had to replace whole engines, not like during a race. You can't really do that. But there's different rules and regulations you can do. And so like in Las Vegas, the first year they had Las Vegas, they didn't weld the sewer lids to the ground well enough. And Ferrari, the downforce sucked one of the sewer lids up and it hit the bottom of the Ferrari and destroyed a $200 million car. And they were able to go and yank everything down to the chassis and basically rebuild the car overnight as long as they could get it done and back for the next time they had to race. So they have rules and regulations and stuff like that. But like if your engine goes out in the race, no, you're done.
Well, in the movie, Matt, was it valid when they said if he could make it to the pit, they can try and fix it?
So that was because it was red flagged. And so when it was red flagged, he made it to the pit and they were able to work on his car in the pit area, but they could not pull it into the garage. So anything they could carry by hand, any tools, anything like that, they could come out and fix the car, but they could not wheel him into the garage where the lifts are and all that kind of stuff is to replace much bigger components.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
And so that's what it was. That was a red flag, which a red flag is a complete stop in the racing.
Okay. Well, Matt, I'm getting pretty thirsty, so I bet you're thirsty. What are you drinking this fine morning, evening, afternoon?
Oh, Mike, I'm so parched because I just keep going off and off and off about Formula One because, as you can tell, I love it. I like it a lot. I just don't get to watch it much. But, Mike, I figured I might as well celebrate a really good blockbuster, so I'm going to stick with the beverage that I had last week because I have several of them, which is the Champagne of beers, Little Miller High Life.
All right.
Are you going to ask Ma Hinch or you want me to?
Ma Hinshaw, what are you drinking this fine morning, evening, afternoon?
Well, it's kind of a weird thing. It's cranberry juice, and it's got what's the name? The one that tastes like cinnamon-ishy, alcoholic beverage. Anyway, it's a real good mix, and I like that. Then lots of ice.
Okay.
Yum.
All right, Matt, you ready for the IPA of the week?
Mike, it's a IPA every week.
I know, but this is the IPA of the week. So I am drinking a Lagunitas beer. It's called A Little Something Something. It's an IPA.
A little something something? Is that what Megs calls it too?
Yeah. So, yeah, there we go.
A Lagunitas little something something. Does Mags like IPAs? She doesn't like IPAs, does she? She's smart, isn't she?
No, she doesn't really like IPAs.
Yeah. See, I thought she was smart.
I'm with her. I just can't seem to hand that.
I thought
Sometimes
you
she
liked
likes
things, Ma.
Sometimes
What?
she likes doubles or triples because they're sweet.
Oh. Okay. Ma, I thought you liked bitter things.
Well, I'm not real nuts about that bitter. It's pretty bitter.
Is it because you're bitter enough?
That's it. I don't need no more bitter since I'm bitter. Yeah.
All right. Well, why don't you do your job?
Okay, Mike, what is our fantastic exciting dad joke of the week.
I got dad jokes, I don't think they understand though. Gotta think I'm funny, other people never laugh though. Dad jokes.
What do they teach in hamburger math courses?
Is this like 2 by 2 makes a 4 by 4?
No, that would be good though.
In-N-Out Burger. Sounding pretty good right now, Mike.
Yeah, it's the metric system.
The Matrix system.
Oh,
Please tell me that's from the
Matrix.
book.
It is from the book. I'm holding it up, but you can't see it.
Yeah, you don't have any video because you broke your pewter.
I know. I'll try and update some stuff some more and see what's going on.
Graphics card, man. That's probably what it is. But
Yeah, it's probably graphics card.
so, all right, Mike. Well, the most important question of the podcast, other than what you're drinking, Mike, how does F1 the movie relate to the Marvel Cinematic Universe?
All right, Matt. Carrie Condon. She was in Captain America Civil War as Friday.
I think it's Condon, but I'm not
Condon.
sure.
All right. Maybe Condon. All right.
Well, I don't know, dude.
I don't know
You're like
either.
Irish, right?
Yeah.
Isn't she Irish?
Probably, yeah. I mean, she was playing an Irish character, so. Yeah. Condon. And then I also saw that Sarah Niles, she was in something too. She was in. Where's that? No, I'm not finding it. Where? What? Anyway. Oh, the Fantastic Four, but it's the newest one coming out, so I didn't think that kind of counted. So
Not yet, because we haven't reviewed it yet, but we will soon.
that's
oh
right.
yeah, we will.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah. So there we go. MCU tie-in.
I'm just trying to see. I swear, I think she's from Ireland.
She probably is.
Yeah, is an Irish television and film actress. Got it. Yep, I had to double check. I'm like, I'm not being weird here, right? Okay. I mean, I am, of course I am, but you know. Anyways, okay. Well, we're in the spoiler section, even though I guess we kind of spoiled it. I mean, not really. It's a racing movie about racing.
No. I mean, no, we didn't spoil it.
And I'll try not to talk about more Formula One, but I mean, you guys have good questions and I have good answers, I think.
Yeah, I think so. So I'll go first. I don't really have much to spoil. I guess I'll just say the story, which I said was good. It's just, like an underdog story, and who doesn't like watching an underdog story, pretty much. And it's got a little bit of the old guy and the young cocky person, and like they have friction, pretty classic, I guess. Classic story or whatever. So it was fun to watch that. I enjoyed the building of the team dynamic on the team, like the jogs and the different things that ended up happening with the different team members, and
that's legitimate, just to let you know. I don't know if they all run it, but a lot of the teams will all walk the course every single time during race week.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, it makes sense to go check it out and kind of like slow motion, especially for like the drivers, right? And like kind of help visualize how they're going to be handling turns and different things. And anyway,
See what changed, see what didn't since last time they were there, the angles. Yeah. Everybody goes as a team and walks it and sometimes jogs it. But yeah, also team building, like you were saying.
Yeah. And the movie, I feel like they were trying to emphasize that, it is a team that needs to come together, because like when the pit times are terrible, like, your race is going to suffer because the difference between what did Brad Pitt say? The difference between first and last is like what 6-7 seconds.
Oh, it's less than that. It's less than
Yeah.
half a second typically.
Yeah, like it was like the difference between first and last was like just the teeniest amount, and that was interesting with the like working on the air design.
Oh yeah, and that's
Yeah.
and when they were doing that, not to spoil it a little bit, but when they were doing that and they had Kerry Condon sitting there in the wind tunnel and doing all that, that's really one of the F1 team's wind tunnels. That's Williams Racing. Now, Williams used to be one of the best teams out there. They've had some real hardcore growing pains in our modern era, but they are actually the most winningest team in F1, I think, behind Ferrari. That's their actual wind tunnel, and they had to get special permission to do that because it's a business. They work year round, and they had to have the FIA sit there and watch them while they're filming those scenes.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's pretty
it was pretty
crazy.
cool.
Well, I mean, all of their behind the scene access and stuff helped, I think, add to the realness of the movie. You did feel like immersed in the F1 like just races and stuff. So I think they did a great job of that. Getting inside the cars and stuff. You know, Matt, since you know a little bit about it, how the heck did the drivers see the other people behind them? Do they have little teeny mirrors? Like,
Yeah, they have rear view mirrors. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, if you look at a Formula One car, they have rear view mirrors on the sides, just like a normal car.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
All right. Because it's like I was like, how the heck do they know where all these guys are going? Like, because it just seemed like it's so tight, like quarters when they're in the car. You know, like there's
Yeah.
they don't really
rear
get.
view mirrors, and then communication with the engineer or the principal or whoever. They're constantly talking. Like when you watch the races, if you pay for the special F1 package from Sky Sports or whatever, you can pick which cars you want to ride along with and which ones you want to hear because they're constantly talking on the radio.
And they just broadcast that and on the everybody
Yeah.
can hear.
Yeah, if you pay for the F1 app, you can go and do it. And that's why they were talking about it a little bit in the film that they use terminology and stuff. So because other people will listen in for the other teams.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and so they'll use terminology and stuff so they don't know. But yeah, you'll hear them call across the radio. Like say if Lewis Hamilton is having brake trouble and they're leading, like say Brad Pitt's character, you'll hear the team principal call, "Hey, Hamilton's having brake issues," because they know to then push it.
Oh, okay. Wow. All right. So
Boy, that's
yeah,
really good.
yeah. This movie was fun.
One thing I was going to say is, while we're still on the topic of shooting in the cars, they did setups. They had to really make them smaller because of the weight of the cameras and all that stuff. But they tried to use the same technology and the same setups as they did in Top Gun Maverick.
Oh, cool.
Because, Joseph Kosinski is the one that directed that as well. And the cinematographer is the same, and same with the composer, Hans Zimmerman.
Yeah, Zimmer.
Ooh,
Hans Zimmer,
that's one
yeah.
thing. The
Yeah,
music
he's-
was really great. That
Yeah.
really went with it. All the music.
Yeah, he's like
It
the John Williams. Like he's the guy who gets the movies that John Williams didn't get.
Yeah.
Pretty
Well,
much. He's
Hans
like the
Zimmer
number
also
2.
did the audio for Days of Thunder, and Joseph Kosinski and Jerry Bruckheimer were trying to make this kind of like a follow up to Days of Thunder, but basically because this movie is doing so well, they're going to make a Days of Thunder sequel.
Are they really?
Yeah, because their first pick to do this was actually Tom Cruise.
Oh, okay.
Well, Brad was still great. Anyway, he did the part because, he was supposed to have raced like 30 years or something and then quit. And so he wouldn't have been uber young, And I think Brad was just a perfect pick, really.
You just like seeing him nude.
Well, yeah, he's got great abs. I mean, come on, you got to have a little excitement there, you know.
Yeah.
But one thing I felt like when I used to go to races, in Tucson and small stuff, but the ground crews that clean up all the wrecks, they did show one thing where the guys were coming out and cleaning up the horrible mess, but that's the only one. They had other wrecks, but they really didn't show the ground crews doing much of cleaning up of the other ones, which is one thing. If you're sitting there watching the race, they're there and they're working hard as fast as they can try to do because they want to get where the race starts up again, and they're pretty awesome at how they do it because people are standing there going, I want to see their race go on. But you got to clean up that track or because, I mean, how do they clean the oil and stuff like that up? I don't know.
The same way they clean it up in any other race.
Okay. Or whatever it is. I don't know. Okay.
They throw down like kitty litter and like
Yeah.
clean it
They
up.
try and absorb as much of it as they can and sweep it off and, all that stuff. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, those are hardworking folks doing that, man. And they're so important because if some of it's left on there, then people could crash. Yeah. But I liked the romance part of it. It wasn't real rapid stuff, but they just kind of got to know each other, like each other. I thought it was cool. I'm not giving away anything, but I thought it was cool for the ladies. Okay.
Okay. Yep. I thought the romance was nice and subtle, and it was fine. Like, I didn't even know if anything was really going to happen towards the end there.
Yeah.
But yeah. So Matt, obviously you loved all the technical stuff. What did you think of the story?
I thought it was fine. Just like you said it wasn't anything fancy. I agree. I also felt it dragged ass in a few sections. I wanted more racing in some areas, but overall it had a good flow. It was decent. I think it was about a half hour too long. I think 2.5 hours is a bit much. I don't know. Did it feel long to you, Mike?
Yeah, I thought it was a little bit long. There were aspects that they probably could have cut out. I don't know.
It might have been just that I had to go pee really bad about an hour and a half in. And I was like, oh, man.
I did. I had to go pee too pretty bad at the end there. So like maybe that affects our opinions.
I stuck it out. I stayed, but it was just like it was feeling long. And like I said, it felt like it was pretty slow kind of a couple times in the middle. I wanted more racing action, but that's just, what I wanted. Just because I really like that.
Well, and I think they were working on explaining how Danson felt, stuff, because he was really viciously negative, I guess you'd say. And then it takes a long time, which is part of, I think, the slow part, and all that, which, of course, Dance is a young driver and he had to learn what the heck's going on. And, well, anyway, I'm not going to talk about that, but that might have added to the length of the movie. Whatever.
I did.
I don't know.
I did like it's got to be stressful as like a new driver, and then having that we're so connected, or that we can be so connected all the time. So I did enjoy when Brad Pitt's like, "Hey man, what are you doing? Put the phone down. It's all just noise. Just worry about racing your race, man." So like that was interesting. I really enjoyed that because I thought that was a very thing that could happen, and like, you could probably get tweeted at all the time and all kinds of stuff, and the I don't know, the way that you can get to people and the how much social media and stuff like that could really be distracting. I feel like for drivers or any real professional or anybody, but they all have to maintain an accounts and stuff. So it's like, you almost want that to be curated by somebody else and so you wouldn't have to, I don't know, participate as much and have to worry about that,
A lot of times it is. It's curated and run by their assistants, but not all the time. But yeah, all the drivers right now have all social media, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, all that stuff, because they got to build the brand. They have to, or else, they're not as well known, or especially around the world. I mean, Formula One is not that big of a deal in America. It's getting better and better and better, but Formula One is huge in the rest of the world, specifically in Europe and Japan and Southeast Asia. Absolutely just gonzo. And the drivers, a lot of them are teenagers. I mean, the oldest driver is about our age, and his name is Fernando Alonso. And everyone keeps just giving him shit for how old he is, because everybody's like 18, 19, 20. And they're getting paid millions and millions of dollars a year. I mean, the top guy right now is Max Verstappen, which is one of my favorite drivers. He has 4 private jets. Like, he has so much money, it would make your head explode. That's how much he gets paid to race Formula One. I mean, Formula One, I'm sure, and I think they conveyed it pretty good in the film, has a lot of money in it. And that's one reason why they've changed a lot of the rules, because they were dumping even more money into the cars than they were now. And now they have a cap on how much they can spend.
Okay. Yeah. I think Max put it pretty well. F1 is like soccer around the world, where soccer's huge around the world, but in America, it's football.
Yeah.
And so like NASCAR is kind of like football, because that's like our racing thing that's like big for us, and it's not as much, F1 stuff.
Right.
So it's kind of funny that she's like, yeah, it's kind of like soccer. I'm like, oh, you're right. It's like soccer of the racing world.
It kind of is. Yeah. I like Formula One because I like the technology, and I like the more challenge to it. Because I think it's a lot more. I mean, NASCAR is very team oriented too, but I mean, Formula One is like super team oriented, even though it looks like it's just the driver getting all this money and they're the ones that are held up high. No, I mean, down to the dude, as we saw in the film, that changes the wheel. If they drop the ball, it screws everything up. And they do more than just change that wheel. They do a lot more than that when they're not racing.
Yeah, but the pit stops in this, man, I was like, man, 2.5 seconds? Holy moly.
And that's legit. Yeah, they're typically, if they're over 3 seconds, it's a long pit stop. But it's because all the technology. They have one nut on each tire. They have one person doing everything. It's like NASCAR's old school, where they want like 8 guys they have a limit on pumping it up and taking each lug off and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. Formula One is all about the technology. Like, the jacks that lift the car up are in the car. Like, they go and they just hit it and boof, and they do it.
Yeah.
It's wild.
Okay. I think that's all I wanted to talk about.
You got enough, Mike? You've had enough?
I've got enough. I've had enough.
Now, Mike and Mom, are you guys going to now become fans of Formula One and watch Formula One now?
I might. It really does look interesting. Of course, when Jeff Gordon was racing, I watched most of his races in NASCAR at that time. But since Jeff retired, Dave doesn't really watch races much anymore. So yeah, but that looks. I've watched a few of the F1s, but not many, I will admit. And I don't know how I even came upon them, but yeah, I might watch more. Mm-hmm.
Well, just like Mike was talking about, it's more European. So typically the F1 races even when they're here in the States, they usually broadcast them when Europe is awake, and usually on Sundays. And so, like when they race here in Las Vegas, it's a night race because it's daytime over there when we're at night. So typically, if you want to watch Formula One, you got to record it because it's usually at 2, 3, 4, and 5 o'clock in the morning on Sunday.
Oh, really?
Yep.
But that
Depending
makes
what country
sense.
they're in.
Yeah.
So, all right, Mike, let's do it. I know you need to go to bed. How many reels?
I'm gonna give this one 4 out of 5 reels. It was a good movie. It was very technical, accurate. So I had a good time. Well acted. Yeah.
Ma Henshaw?
Oh, I give it 4.5 cookies because I really thought it was great. And the acting was really good, and I loved the music. It just really went with the movie and helped with when they were racing even. It was just cool. And yeah, 4.5 cookies.
Well, I give it 4 out of 5. Like I said, I thought it was really good overall. I got a lot out of it being a fan of Formula One, and maybe that's why I'm a little more critical about it in some areas. I thought it dragged in a few spots, but overall, I thought it was a very good movie. I will definitely watch it again, possibly a 4K Blu-ray in the future. I don't know. We'll see. I mean, I love Joseph Kosinski's work. I think he's a very, very good director. I know, Mike, you love a lot of his work too. Oblivion is another great film that he did. Top Gun Maverick, another one. But yeah, I enjoyed it. I think it's definitely probably one of, if not my favorite so far, definitely at the top of the summer blockbusters of 2025 for sure. So 4 out of 5.
Nice, dude. Nice.
So, Mike, you want to tell our lovely listeners what we're going to review over the 4th of July weekend, or do you want me to?
I know you sent the list. I forgot which one it is again.
Mike, how dare you? We're going to go watch Scarlett Henshaw in Jurassic World Rebirth.
Oh, yes. Yes. Scarlett Henshaw.
Wait,
yes,
Scarlett who? Oh,
His Matt's future ex-wife, Scarlett Johansson,
yeah.
is going to
Ooh.
is going to give up her last name and throw it all out the window when she meets Mr. Matt.
That's how much
yes.
in love she'll be with me. And you know it, Mike.
That's it.
You know it.
Yep. And she's gonna drop her SNL boyfriend and or husband,
no, I think
right?
they're married now.
Yeah, husband and
Colin Jost, yeah. He's not funny. I'm funnier than him.
Yes, you are.
I think he's that funny either. Anyway, so okay,
So Jurassic
that'll be
World
fun.
Rebirth.
Jurassic World. So now we're on what? Like, is this Jurassic Park number 9? They just don't want to write it down,
Probably.
like that.
Yeah, it says
Okay.
5 years post Jurassic World Dominion. So
Well,
this
there
is,
was-
I think, technically 7.
There was 3
Oh,
Jurassic Worlds.
And then there was Jurassic Park 2, and Jurassic Park 3.
Yeah.
So this is 7, I think.
Yeah, we're on 7. Jurassic Park Part 7.
Yeah.
Steven Spielberg,
And is that
still
the
executive producer.
Of course. But dude, look at who the director is, man.
I didn't see who the director was. Who's the director?
Gareth Edwards.
Okay.
He did Rogue One, a Star Wars story.
Okay. All right.
It's like the only good modern Star Wars movie. Maybe he'll save Jurassic Park. I don't know. We'll see.
We'll see.
I mean, it's only PG-13, so there's not going to be any, visuals of Scarlett Henshaw. So whatever.
aw, too bad. I'm sorry.
Oh,
Yeah.
look, Michael Crichton wrote it.
Really?
Yep.
Isn't Michael Crichton dead?
Well, it says he wrote it, so it's
He wrote the original Jurassic Park. It says based on characters created by.
Really? That's lame because it has him named first in the writers on the IMDa. Yeah, he died in 2008.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
crap.
Been a while.
I figured it might just be another Jurassic Park book hidden somewhere.
Well, he did, I think, do 2 books. I think there were 2, maybe 3. There were a few Jurassic Park books, but like the first one isn't even like the first movie was only like half of the first book, I think.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I remember reading it in English class.
So
Mhm.
anyway, that makes sense because, you just can't cram it all in there.
That's what she said.
Ooh. Children, behave.
Yep. All right, Matt. You were waiting all pod to say that. So now we can close out because Matt got it.
Woo! Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Do your thing, Mike.
All right. Well, thanks for listening, everybody. Make sure to follow us on the socials, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or X. And we'll catch you on the next pod. Jurassic World Rebirth. Thanks for listening, everybody.
Thank you for listening to The Real Film Nerds. Now, don't forget to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Real Film Nerds. Now, go out and catch a movie.